But I think one of the other dangers of the World Economic Forum and that ilk in terms of the crypto environment is the idea of tokenization. There's a lot that can be done very positively with tokens. There's a lot of, there's a lot of ways to like minimize transaction costs within the crypto environment. There's lots of good things that can be done with tokens. However, people are talking about, they go, hey, what if, let's just say a stock, right? So instead of buying a stock of NVIDIA, they go, well, in addition to having it on NASDAQ, why don't we have tokens? We'll have NASDAQ tokens. And so a broker, Charles Schwab or somebody, will sell NVIDIA tokens. And maybe a token is 1/100th or 1/10th or whatever, whatever value is that's more attainable. You go, it's a token's $5. So whatever percentage that is, you go, that's great. Me, the consumer, I'm going to buy, whatever, $50 of NVIDIA. And a lot of people go, oh, me too. By the way, this is kind of what Robinhood does. But you just go, I'm going to buy $50 of this, $50 of this. And you think, well, I'm getting access to these capital markets that I wouldn't otherwise. And you're not totally incorrect. However, along the way, the issuing institution, the Chase Manhattan, the BlackRock, all these cats, they are buying the stock to issue you tokens as a share of it. When you buy a portion of a share in Robinhood, they buy a full share, and they just go, all right, we'll spend the extra $30 or whatever. And so what ends up happening is, say they pull the rug out, they go, no more tokens, we'll cash you out. Bloop. Well, now they own all the shares. Or along the way, they go, hey, guess what? We're a majority shareholder now because of our purchases. And it's different than being custodial, it'll be, but people are talking about doing that with investment properties too. You've seen these outfits pop up, micro investments in properties, which I think is a good idea, a fun idea, where you can go, hey, why don't you buy, 5% of this property with the idea of XYZ. There's that one website that sells have you seen this?
Was it, similar to kind of like timeshare or?
No, it's,
I know it's ownership, it's not use, but.
Yeah, it's like they go, we've got this house, and our goal is to sell it in 5 years when we think the property value will be X and we expect a gain of Y. And you can buy in for, I guess, profit participation, or maybe it's equity ownership, I don't know. But they go, shares start at whatever. So maybe you can buy in at $5,000 instead of $500,000. But you can get, you can buy whatever percentage of the participation, so that in 5 years, if they sell it and they make the money that they anticipate or whatever they make, you get the 10% or whatever of that. And I think that's a fun way to do. I think that's fun. I got no problem with that, assuming that it's all in the up and up. But the tokenization would be different, because you would basically fund this person buying this property, and they will own it. And so, yeah, I guess they have a debt to you, theoretically, unless they figure out a way to tank the token, like if you had,
by issuing more.
Well, by issuing more, by say in the property way, right? Say that you're I don't know, whatever. You BlackRock, they buy property. Say you're BlackRock and you have it's BlackRock property token, okay? And so that's the way to buy into BlackRock properties. And like, look at our suite of, this is our portfolio. You buy in for 10% or something. So suddenly they get this outside cash influx of all these people buying in 1, 10, 20% of a portfolio. But yeah, all they have to do is...
Instead of institutional investors at that point.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then all they have to do at some point, if they really want to, is you just go, you buy more property to increase the total dollar amount, crash the per share price, but don't issue extra tokens on it because you're in charge of the tokens. And so, yeah, you devalue it, you cash them out, and suddenly you've got even more property and you didn't even pay for it. It's a tokenization of assets is a very slippery slope that is something that like people really need to be against and aware of.
It's crazy because currently they try to jack the prices up by selling it to themselves
Yeah.
through
Oh, yeah,
subsidiaries
that
or
whole
whatever. But that scheme would be the opposite. They would try to tank it so that they could just run away with all the money.
Yeah, well, and by tanking it, it's a very short term tank.
Yep.
Where they all of a sudden they have X number of properties that they have paid nothing for out of pocket. They paid it with this money. Think about it with precious metals, with gold and silver, which are skyrocketing right now. You see silver; it's going to break 100 soon. I was telling the story at a time I was at the shop for a little bit, and I kept seeing this dude. He was this real unassuming dude. He looked like he probably worked as a bus driver or something, just unassuming. Like he's working, he's fine, he's fine. 60s, something like that, pushing 70, and but just unassuming. And he would go in, he'd buy silver 1 ounce rounds, and he'd buy them by just. There's times. One time he walked out, it looked like he had a poker chip holder of it, and I was just like, all right. And at that time, I was like, I don't know, silver's just kind of been the steady thing for a decade. Like, I can't imagine, like, not that I can't imagine, but I go, it's not bad, but like, it doesn't seem like, that compared to like a gold or something, you should probably go gold. Because even platinum had been steady. That guy's probably having a great time now. As long as he kept his mouth shut every time he bought that silver, he's probably having, because it was like $20 an ounce back then. So anyway, it's going to break 100, and we're only talking about 2022, by the way. So this is 2026 and barely into it, and we're talking about 5x soon. But anyway, but the tokenization of it would allow institutions to buy physical gold, physical silver, physical whatever, and like you have a profit right to it. But at the end of the day, like say they cash you out, right? Say they just cash you out fair and square. You've facilitated them buying a ton of gold, and gold has gone up, and you've got your gain, and like you've gained 300% on your money, and they owe you $5,000. Okay, they have a metric ton of gold thanks to the tokenization. They give you your $5,000. They still got that ton of gold. Tomorrow they will more than make that up in the gain. But anyway, so. This is the one thing. This is one place that I'm worried about with overzealous crypto bros and some of the technology is just this tokenization of everything. Anyway.
We're fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine. I didn't mean to spend 20 minutes on that.
That's okay. It was good.
Yeah. All right.